Legion Lost number 12, written by Tom DeFalco, art by Pete Woods. Last issue left off with Dawnstar being taken over by a more powerful body jumping Alistar, and Tyrock and Chameleon Girl got caught by the Meta Marines. I think that's all that's necessary here. So anyway, Tellus is battling possessed Dawnstar, and Alistair just straight up says, yes, it's me. Hi, I'm sure you recognize my mind inside this body. I got more powers, and I'm also able to read the minds of anybody I possess and get all their secrets. So now I got all Dawnstar's secrets. I'm going to take over your body, Tellus, and it's required to have physical contact in order to jump bodies. So he jumps over to Tellus. And Tellus is like, wow, you've got a lot of secrets in here. I'm going to go shock your teammates. So he grabs Dawnstar and flies off towards Tyrock and Chameleon Girl, which he knows where they are because of the mental link thing. Speaking of them, they're currently bound up in the back of a Meta Marines armored truck, and Meta American is getting a commendation. They're like, well done. Homeland Security really did its best for you. And he's like, it's all part of the job and whatnot. Meanwhile, Tyrock is inside. He's coming to, and his throat's better now, so he's able to use his sonic ability to shatter the mask that they put him in, and also the other different things that were holding him down. And then he sees Chameleon Girl's already shapeshifted out of him, just be like, yeah, I don't know why they thought that would work. Anyway, we good to go now? So the Meta Americans hear something happening, and they look up and they see Tellus throwing Dawnstar down at them. And Tellus, of course, possessed by Alistar, is like, oh, you savages with your guns. I under any other circumstances would let the Legionnaires die, but I kind of need them right now because I'm gonna get all their secrets and find out what's going on. Also, there's something in my head about me being played as a puppet, that I was part of a larger plan. I don't know nothing about that, so I'd like to get some info. But, of course, during the fight, Meta American's like, we need to take this guy down, and he kicks Tellus in the face, but that's the physical contact needed to change bodies. So now Meta American has, laser vision power, because I guess that just comes with Alistair possessing your body, and he blasts all of his soldiers, and then Tyrock and Chameleon Girl jump out, ready to fight the Meta Americans, and he's like, oh, there's something entirely different going on here. All right, well, who do we got to fight? And Tellus points over to Meta American and tosses him into a building. And then Dawnstar grabs him because technically he is an innocent, because as soon as Chameleon Girl touched Meta American, she was possessed by Alistair. So Dawnstar catches that. And then we cut over to the clinic where Timberwolf's recovering. And we have his friend, I can't even remember his friend's name, Oz, and Gates there. And then Tellus calls up Gates and Timberwolf saying, hey, guys, we need you here now. So Gates just teleports him out. So then back in the fight, Chameleon Girl's like, oh my god, she's been betraying you the whole time. Oh my god, all of you have so many secrets. So the Meta American's about to start fighting again. And at this point, they're like, wait a minute, guys, hold on. The Legionnaires, hold your fire for just a little bit. Let them do their thing. So they come out into the fight, and Chameleon Girl manages to get a hand on Tyrock, who then Alistair possesses, and he's like, whoa, he's got something in here about a prophecy? Man, you guys, hold on, he's got a little bit about that puppet thing as well, so maybe I'm going to be able to read about that. But during the fight, there's some civilians in the way. Timberwolf gets them out of the line of fire. And then Gates comes in and teleports Tyrock out of the battle before he can attack any more civilians. But during that, he couldn't resist getting one punch in the face on Tyrock, which then transfers it over to Gates. And Gates is like, oh my god, this power. By the way, he thinks that he's already seen his own death and that you're all going to die with him. So that's something. Anyway, I'm going to open up a portal next to a black hole. That sounds like a good idea. So he does that for a brief second. Timberwolf comes in, saves the life of one of the Meta Marines, and then bonks Gates over the head with some random piece of metal, which is enough to transfer it again into Timberwolf. Timberwolf doesn't have any secrets, though. So at that point, Wildfire, what's his name? I'm going to say Wildfire. Yes. He finally comes back and he's like, Alistair, I got the call. It's over because I can shoot you from far away. I don't need to do this anymore. And he's like, I was in Dawnstar's brain, which means I know about your little love triangle with her, which means I can hold her as hostage. So he's threatening to kill Dawnstar if Wildfire doesn't just give up his body willingly. To which he's like, I have to. You guys, what choice do I have? So he gives up his body to Alistair willingly. But turns out that it was all part of the plan because he needs a organic living host in order for Alistair to like actually take over. But Wildfire isn't that. He's just like contained energy. So while he's still like briefly possessing him, Wildfire boosts up all the way to the sun and then just burns off Alistair. But Alistair, of course, is like, no, I can repair your suit. I can save your life. And he's like, I'm not stupid. Bye. And he's like, all right, but you'll never be free of Eka. So, yeah, the Wildfire comes back down to the planet. And he's like, wow, you guys, you did the whole, no, you can't do this when I went to put myself up. But, like, that was a bit melodramatic. Tone it down a little bit. So, at that point, the Meta-Americans are like, we still have to take you in. Like, we still have our orders. But then the main Meta-American steps up and he's like, whoa, hold on. I saw something for, like, who they are when Alistair was inside of me. And I understood that these children, they are the future. They're the hope for the better generations ahead. And then the leader of the team's like, I'm going to ignore that, like, traitorous comment of yours of not following orders, and we're going to arrest them anyway. But then at that point, they just warp out, and Gates says that they're going to Kyrgyzstan. And of course, they're just on a rooftop nearby, but they all think that they're halfway across the world. So they take a moment, and they're like, all right, look, Alistair said a lot of things. Let's not deal with that right now. Let's just have a moment that our team is all back together, and we're all safe. The end. And I mean, there's more issues, but that may as well have been the end. I liked it. I think it did a good job of tying up all the loose ends. There was a weird bit where, like, because Timberwolf, of course, survived, and they were like, the one woman who shot him was like, no, how is this possible? I know I shot you. Like, I feel like as soon as the people start teleporting and start changing shapes, maybe you should think maybe a bullet won't work. But I guess that's just me. But yeah, no, it was good. It was a fine issue. In terms of wrapping up this arc, it was weird because of the whole Alistair coming back was just this issue. Whereas I felt like the Meta-American thing was kind of the larger... Well, I guess the betrayal thing was the bigger thing. There were like 4 things that were all just kind of coalesced into this weird little arc of like 4 different plots. So it's fine. It was well told. I understood each beat of action. And I feel like it wrapped up each thing fairly nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 7. Yeah, my only real complaint in it is that it doesn't... And it's going to sound like a weird one, but it doesn't feel confident in what it's doing. At every point, it feels like it's like, can we do this plot, or would you like this plot instead? How about this one? Like, I wish that it would just double down and be like, here's what we're doing, and we're going to do it well. Instead, it's just shotgun spray and hoping for the best.